Hey guys, and welcome to my new YouTube channel. If you follow me on social media or if you are in a couple of the Facebook groups that are about Cricuts, a lot of people have been asking me how I do my text offsets. So I thought I would help out and make a quick little video tutorial. I use Inkscape, which is a free software. It works on Windows and Mac computers, and it's pretty awesome possum. It handles most of my heavier design work, and is what I use to make all of my SVGs. Is what we're going to use today. First, we're just going to set up our canvas to be as useful as possible. You're going to come up here to the top right to this Enable Snapping tool, and we're going to turn that off. That's super useful for other things, but for what we're going to do today, it's a pretty big headache. Next, you're going to come over here to the top left to Object and make the first selection that says Objects, which opens up this panel. It's pretty useful in just a second. So we're all set up and we're ready to add our text. You're going to come to this left toolbar. You're going to select the black A and you're going to type your word. We're going to use Toodles. We're going to make it pretty big. And as you can see, we have our word. If you have fonts that you use in Cricut Design Space, it's most likely already in Inkscape as well. It goes by what you have downloaded in your computer. I'm going to use my favorite script font, Noradilla. You can kind of see that some of my top bits are chopped off. That's not important. It fixes in just a second, and I'm going to show you how. We are done with editing our text. We don't have to do any kerning or anything like that, so you can just exit the text tool completely and click back on having a cursor. As of right now, this is only a text element. We need to make it a path element. That'll fill in this little bit up here too. So you're going to come up here to the top menu, select Path, and select the first item, which is Object to Path. This fills in all your chopped in bits and makes it basically a proto SVG sort of. What you're going to want to do is come over here to your Objects panel, select this text layer, and select Ungroup. I did a right click to get to that, and it has everything selected. It does the same thing in Cricut Design Space where it just breaks everything apart. We need it to go back together though, so we're going to go back into the Path menu and select Union. Union in Inkscape is basically weld for Cricut Design Space. It makes it one solid path, one solid unit. It makes it welded and appear correct where they are attached. So now you will see that it says path instead of text. That's what we want. You could technically save this as an SVG and upload it to your computer already, but we're going to go a little bit further and set up that offset. So we're going to go up here to path again. We're going to use this so many times. You're going to come down here to linked offset. A couple of these look like they might do the same thing, but they're a little bit more difficult to work with. So we're just going to pick linked. You're going to get one node up at the tippy tip top of whatever it is that you are offsetting. It's going to be that one little diamond. You're going to click it and drag it just a little bit. How far you drag it is really up to you. It depends on how thick an offset you're wanting to do. If you're making something like stickers and you need a negative space offset where it just cuts further away from your image, you would probably want it a little bit thicker. We're just doing a basic text offset. So I'm going to change the color of that just by coming down here and selecting something, and you'll see that it is a perfect, evenly spaced offset. I'm going to click on my cursor tool one more time, and you can technically upload this to Design Space just as it is. I like the way that a more solid offset looks, so we're going to click on that black. Notice it doesn't go all the way around the color, just the black layer. We're going to come over to our objects and select the eyeball. We're not working with him right now. So we're going to select the green layer, go back up to Path. Right in the middle, it'll say Combine, and then click Path again and click Break Apart. Break Apart just makes everything its own weird little layer. So select again on something that outlines the whole word. You can select some parts where it'll give you a little box. We don't need those. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the big box. You're going to come back over to Objects, and one will be grayed out right here at this bottom. If you look, it's gray where everything else is white. And we're going to select the eyeball to turn that layer off too. And then we're just going to drag a big box around everything and delete it. You should be left with 2 paths. Turn them both back on. And that's a good, thick, even, and perfectly spaced offset. There's going to be no weird gaps or cuts. And ideally, your nodes should be fairly smooth. However, you can also simplify them as well in your path menu, right over here. This creates a perfectly offset, easy to layer SVG that you will just click up here, File, Save As, and you can keep it as an Inkscape SVG. It's perfectly appropriate for this. And you'll be able to upload this right into Design Space just like normal. And it'll work perfectly where you can change the colors on other things and resize as much as you want. So thanks for sitting through my first tutorial. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe, of course. And, let me know what you think, what you'd like to see next, what other Inkscape things you might be intimidated by or not understand. Or just let me know that I sound like an asthmatic anteater. Whatever you want to talk about, we can in the comments. So, thanks, guys.